Hello everyone, this is my project milestone week 2, I guess you can say build review or weekly review of the work I got done this week. And this past 2 weeks, first week and this week, I've been working on getting this post content post to work. So the idea is for our users to be able to upload content like review and whatnot. So this week, that's what I basically was working on. A little minor change I made was it said favorite foods before. I just changed the posts because it just generalizes it. It makes more sense because maybe a user wants to not post a good experience they had at a restaurant, so it'll just make more sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I got done, and then we can go over how it works and some issues I faced. So this is going to be the screen after you sign up and you enter your user information. You're going to go here and click add post, and we can go ahead and add let's say okay, I'm going to say tacos downtown, and let's say Chandler as like the town, down tacos downtown Chandler, and I can say my favorite taco spot, call it Taco King. You know what, actually? I'm gonna say my favorite taco spot, and I'm just gonna say Taco King downtown Chandler. So that makes more sense. Kind of like a location, a little summary. And we can go ahead and add the image. So this is my drive. Made a little folder with some food images. Once you upload it, it should come up right here like that. Taco King downtown, my favorite taco spot. And just add another one, just because why not? We can call this one, let's do home cone bistro, go exclamation, and we can say 5 out of 5 service. Another exclamation, another exclamation. You can go ahead, add this one. I'm not sure what's going on with that flash. I'm gonna this week figure out why it's happening. But yeah, so this is it, Hong Kong Bistro, and the premise of this is free. This is a recycler viewer, so you should be able to scroll. And I don't know why it's repeating, but if you want to add another one, it would come right there. And there's some minor bugs I need to walk through the code and kind of iron out, but it's working for the most part. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how this works. So, by the way, just so you guys can see, this is hooked up to database, and this is the content node, and here is your profile. And we can go ahead and start it, I guess, in add content. So this is adapter content, add content. So this is where you're going to upload the content. Oh, this is the XML element too. Here we go. So what's happening here is on create it I guess runs this method load content, and this is the upload content to PDF storage, which is just basically this. So this is the storage where all the PDFs are being stored and uploaded to. So as you can see here, these are just PDF files. Let me see if I'm in the right one. Content. So this one in theory should be the one that we just added. Yeah, and there it is. Which is cool. And how this works, it's basically creating a content kind of folder. You can see your content folder, and then it's giving it a name, which is, I guess, I'm not sure exactly how. I think it's a timestamp, and the timestamp, yeah, it's a timestamp, and the timestamp's not really a timestamp, it's just like a number. But I don't know exactly how the timestamp works, but it's a very long number, and that's how it references it. And from what I do is I take a snapshot of the database and I save that, and I convert it to a string, and then from there I take that string and I enter it in my upload PDF, not my upload PDF, my upload content PDF to database, which is going to be, give me a second, this database, which is, this is the timestamp I'm talking about. So if you go down here and let me show you here, you can see your timestamp's the same as this, which I use timestamp for my profiles and this to reference them. Well, basically to name them, because the timestamp's always going to be unique to each individual content or profile, no matter when or how many you post. It's always going to be unique. And okay, so look, so you're gonna I'm gonna take that that string that I saved up here. Where is it? Okay, yeah, the storage reference, and I'm gonna pass it into content to PDF, and this is basically also taking care of the title and the description. As you can see, your title description makes a node called content, which you can see right here, content makes that node, and then it's gonna create this little, I guess, hash map they call it, and what it does is it uploads it, gives it a title, and then I also save it into a string. And then here we go, you can see I set the text. This is what I'm using to bind. So title et, description et is what this is in the XML file. And then this is the load content. So the way this works is I have a model, and the model is a title, description, and the content PDF URL. And each one of these is it's an object, and they're in an array. So this is the first array, and this is the second array. And what happens is, add content. As you can see here, I'm taking a snapshot of the database and I'm uploading it into content array, and that model kind of categorizes everything. So this is like title 1, description 1, photo 1, title 2, description 2, and then image 2. And what I have here is a filter that kind of like organizes everything, and also saves it. I guess I don't want to say saves it into model. It saves it into array that's used all throughout my application, well, this application. And from there, once you add it to here, it doesn't just poof up here. You need an adapter class, and this adapter class is what was giving me issues. This adapter class and all the classes were giving me issues for the past week. I was having array null exceptions. I was having issues rendering the recycler viewer. I was having issues calling the actual this actual thing right here. I forget exactly what it's called. I could call it content in my XML. Let me see. So in profile layout, this whole issue right here, this recycler view, I guess I had issues calling this recycler view and referencing this add content row. I have no idea why. I was just getting a null exception for that, And then once I had after I figured out that array null exception I was getting, that was crashing my application, which had to do with this. I want to say it had to do with my binders, and I also had issues referencing this node correctly and saving it. So that's in profile layout. So in profile layout, it's a bit of a smash up of the content route and this profile. And what I had to do is I had to basically this week I had to rewrite my adapter, and then I had to thoroughly walk through this and make sure that this was working correctly, my retrieved content info. And what this does is it takes the information from the database it's uploaded from added content. As you can see here, these are the little nodes. So you can see description. Oh, you can sideline that quick. So title, description, URL, title, description, URL, and it takes it, and you can see here it puts it into these strings, and these strings I call model content, which is that little model class for the objects I showed you earlier. This, and it saves it to these, and then you can use these getters and setters, which is what I'm using to set the IDs in the actual XMLs. And what I'm using in my adapter, that's not the right adapter, in my adapter to right here, it's kind of like the same thing where I'm setting these strings, get content title, get content description, and get content PDF. Well, this is coming from that model, and that model is set from the database that I'm setting in profile layout. So I'm taking this information from the database, saving it into strings right here, uploading it to content, then I'm going over here to my adapter. In my adapter, I'm taking the content from the model, putting it into these strings, and then as you can see here, there's my binding. So title TV and description TV are in the XML files I can show you right here. So description TV, title TV, then I'm setting the text. And another main issue I was having was actually getting these images to render. So what I'm using is these are PDF files, and in the adapter, it's the wrong adapter again. I'm just gonna close this. In the adapter, as you can see here, I have a little load PDF from URL, and if you scroll way down here, this doesn't. So in the database, that PDF file is a URL, and I can't just send a URL to what I'm using to display this. This is what I'm using is a PDF viewer, and what happens with this is in the database it gets uploaded as a URL that gets saved under the nodes, but it also gets saved in the storage. So what I have to do is I have to retrieve it from storage and also retrieve it from the URL, and then I have to load it into this PDF view. But for me to load into this PDF view, I have to set it to something. So I can't just as you can see here how there's just set text. I can't just do PDF view, call that and set text to it. I have to kind of make a function for it. And then so as you can see, this is the method. So there's my model and there's my holder. And what happens here is you can see the string PDF view and get content PDF view. So this is from the model. That's the string I made. And what I do is I save it as that string. Right here, I pass it as a reference, and then this reference, so this is the same reference right here. What happens is holder dot content PDF right here, that's the actual PDF viewer, and then here I'm actually binding it to this, and this is what's helping me display it. Another big part of this whole thing, how this thing works, is this filter. I think I went over that a little bit earlier, but if we go back to profile layout, I have this content info, which what I do is I call upon it in the on create, and then on data change. And you can see here I do load content from URL and content list, which was one of the big things I was missing, that I was trying to figure out. I was missing something why this wasn't displaying, and this content list kind of works with my filter and my array, and it kind of just loads this up. And you can see right here is the retrieve content info. And this is also connected to my database, so you can see here I didn't use a string. I was trying to use it and pull directly from the database, and it wasn't working. But you can see your content ref is referencing my database content node, and I don't want to be too long on this, but yeah, basically, so I'll show you. This is load content from URL. So this takes that URL. Content array list is empty. If it's empty, it can't load a PDF. There's the model content. There's the array. Strings. This is what actually displays the this image. There's a couple of these where it has to pass it to that PDF viewer. And then here's that load content list I was talking about earlier. So this also adds it to the content array list. So it takes this model, passes through the title, description, and PDF, and it puts it into the model, and the model into an array. And that model, I think you saw it earlier somewhere around here. Let me see. Might be up here. Basically, I think it was a variable where, I just saw, we're in content array list. It might be in my adapter. It's fine. So what happens is those models are objects, and those objects are titled, the title 1, description 2, title 2, 111 for all these, and then it just kind of just feeds the information to each of these. And yeah, and that's what I got done for the week. So for my